I just heard that an inmate at the Bordelais Correctional Facilities among two people who recently died, and that is COVID related. Can you confirm, sir?
Yes, I can confirm that we had one COVID complication death at the respiratory hospital, Victoria Hospital. We were notified yesterday. He was one of the 8 inmates that was originally tested positive, and he showed symptoms, so he was conveyed to the Victoria Hospital about 4 days ago, and we were notified yesterday that he passed away.
Do you attribute this to anything that probably the authorities at the Bordelais Correctional Facility are not doing as far as guidelines are concerned, as far as social distancing, as far as the wearing of the face masks, as far as the hand washing?
Do I attribute it as something that we're not doing?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it can't be something that we're not doing. We obviously have limitations. If you have a prison that is the remand population overpopulated, the enforcing social distance is obviously we're unable to enforce that. So I don't know if it's something that we're not doing. It's just within our capability. But however, the inmate who just passed away was not from that population.
So he was from which population?
That inmate worked in the kitchen, and that's where we had the initial contact of COVID-19. He was part of the inmates that worked in the kitchen. So I don't know if you can make that correlation, but he was a worker in the kitchen. He was found positive. He had the symptoms. He was taken to the respiratory hospital, and he passed away 4 days later.
So
he had further complications. He had other ailments and other issues.
So, is this further justification for the agitation that is taking place among the prison population, the inmates, and even those who have already been tried and convicted?
You say, is it further education?
No, I'm just saying, is it justification for the actions being taken by the inmates?
Well, I don't know that you can justify anything that that is done that is not orderly. There are different ways of expressing your displeasure, and the inmates they did that to a certain extent, but then they took it to another level, which forced us to go in with force.
But it appears to be a very scary situation, a very scary scenario that the inmates are experiencing right now.
Well, I think you on the outside, it may appear to be scary to you, but it is a day in the life of a correctional officer. That's what a correctional officer lives with, and we have to contain that environment. As you realize, it's 300 inmates out in the backyard with 2 or 3 officers. As you say, it could be scary, but it's what this is in the day and life of a correctional officer.
But anything different that the authorities are doing at the Bordelais Correctional Facility to bring this under some level of control? I'm talking about the matter involving the spread of COVID-19 at the penal institution.
Well, I think as you watch all the videos you saw out there, COVID-19 was the least of every inmate's problem. You will see that every inmate was highlighting the time on remand because this was what it was. That's what drove the uprising, or whatever you want to call it, is the time on remand. That's what the main reasons were. Yes, there were some underlying issues such as the cloth mask and the type of hand sanitizer, but the main issues were time on remand. And if you review all of those tapes, and I haven't walked the ground, that is their major issue. They were, at one point, they wouldn't even talk to me. They wanted to talk to someone from the courts about the time on remand. So they took advantage of the COVID era, the COVID situation, and bring to light their plight of long remand time.
What is being done to address this issue? Because we understand there's some inmates, some individuals, want remand for at least 6 years or maybe even more.
Yeah. Well, I think you've been covering this situation for many years, Tim. As you know, it has been a problem that's been here forever, and it's throughout the region. The good thing, there was a good light to it. It was I was advised yesterday that the cabinet of ministers approved an additional judge, and they also approved to have a trial with a judge only without a jury that will be able to speed through some of these trials. So that's a plus, and we hope that's implemented soon so we could affect some of the um, long overdue cases.
How many individuals on remand right now?
I think 324.
Okay. Now, what is being done to ensure that inmates and those who are on remand are given the necessary face masks and the hand sanitizers so that they can remain safe?
Yes, and that, as you imagined, that was done yesterday. We were able to get Ministry of Health was able to provide, as you'd imagine, with 500 plus inmates, we would have to have a disposable mask on a daily basis. So if you do the figures, you'll realize what it would take to maintain the conditions within our prison. But anyway, we were given some masks that we were able to pass out yesterday, both mask and gel sanitizers, and that has been handed out to the inmates right now.
What kind of assurance can you give the St. Lucian public that the well-being of your staff as well as that of the inmates are being taken care of?
Well, the reassurance I could give the public is that as the inmates rebel and they push back, we will push back. We will always be in control of our prison. We will allow the inmates to vent. We know they have some bona fide reasons why they should vent, but most of their situation is beyond our control. We will house and secure them and take care of their needs. However, the court situation is beyond our control. But as long as we're in control of our prison, at any time that the inmates rebel, we will push back and take control of our prison. I can assure the general public that.
A strange allegation has been made, sir, just recently, that your office is actually located beyond the prison. Is that true?
I think you should consider the source.
No, I'm just asking you now.
Well, I think you should consider the source. My office is here at Bordelais. You could, I'm right here at Bordelais.
Okay, sir.
So just future, when you ask these questions, you need to consider the source of that information.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about.
And verify it by calling the ministry, because I think that person said my office at the ministry.
Yeah.
Verify it with the ministry.
Yeah,
my office is here at Bordelais in Denry, St. Lucia.
I'm not concerned about the source right now, but I just pose a question directly to you.
Your source needs to be a good source, Tim.
No, I'm not preoccupied with the source, Mr. Hillman, because
but your source, you take it right off the line, and that source that you're talking about was an inmate here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so consider the source.
Okay.
And her agenda.
Any final comments from you, sir?
No, that's it. Oh, I would like to mention that. We spoke about the inmate that passed away, and of course, we've spoken to the family, and of course, our condolences from the Bordelais Correctional Facility and the Ministry of Home Affairs to the family.